Hey everybody, it's me Stacey here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Hello everybody. Welcome to today's Saturday with Stacey YouTube class number 627. Wow, that's a lot of Saturdays. We've spent a lot of Saturdays together, haven't we? Now, if you're new to our channel, hey, I'm Stacey, and I am the owner of Scrapbooking Made Simple. We're a small independent mom and pop shop, paper crafting art store shop here in Canyon Country, California. And we also have an online store, a small presence online. So I teach 4 classes every week. You are catching me on a Saturday class, which is our full-length, commercial-free, technique-based class. It is an extended class where we start at the beginning and we end at the end. And we get a little more technique-y as we move along. I also do a class on Mondays, on Tuesdays, and on Thursdays, but those are at 6 p.m. sunny California time, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. So Saturday is our morning class, and it's a great class. You're going to have so much fun, and hopefully you're going to learn something. That's the goal, that something I show you, you're like, oh, I didn't know that, or I never thought of that, or I forgot you could do that, or I've owned that forever and I have never even taken it out of the packaging. That's what these classes are about. They introduce you to new products, but they also incorporate things you probably already have in your crafty arsenal. And it gives you the opportunity to see product and really see how it works before you're like, do I want to commit my crafty dollars to that or not? This is my, when I'm like this is my nervousness. Do I want to commit my crafty dollars to it or not? And that's why these classes are as long as they are. I could certainly do a quick demo with all of this product and bing, bang, boom, be done. But does that really give you the information you need to make an informed decision about what you want to spend your crafty dollars on? Probably not. Will it answer all your questions in a bing, bang, boom demo? Probably not. You have to think of my Saturday classes as if you were walking into my store and sitting down and taking a class. How long would you expect that class to be? 15 minutes? Even when we did our free make and takes here at the shop on Saturday, those still were about an hour long, even a free make and take. So it's all about the technique. It's about building your confidence in product that you may already have or you may have been contemplating about. It's about you going, oh yeah, now that I see what she's done with it, nope. Pass. Is it swipe right? Swipe left? I don't know which swiping it is. I'm married 30 years. They didn't swipe wet. We didn't have that back then. So today is a great class. There is a lot to do. There's no question about it. I have got Gelli Arts and a gel plate here with me today. I've got some product from them that is relatively new that we're gonna play with. I have got my soft pastels from Rembrandt out. I have got, and those are fine art product. Shh, don't tell anybody. They are so easy to use. They are so easy to use. I've got my Ecoline liquid watercolor out, which is also fine art. Shh. Don't tell anybody. It is so easy to use. Fine art isn't the talent level of the person using the product. Fine art is the quality of the product being used. Because I'm a paper crafter, but my goodness gracious, fine art product makes me look better than I am. Truly it does. So I've got soft pastels for you, which are not chalky. Have no fear. Rembrandt soft pastels from Royal Talons are here. I've got the Ecoline, we've got the gel plate from Gelli Arts. I've just got a ton of stuff. But before we can tilt down and get started, because I'm not as, I don't have like this setup. I saw, and I hope I'm okay for saying this, I saw on Instagram, I see, this is my nervousness. You know I'm nervous when I'm doing this. It's like, should I say anything? Should I not say anything? I saw on Instagram Tim Holtz's setup for his videos. Okay, y'all have to understand. First, oh my gosh, FOMO. I mean, I am like, dude, really? It was crazy. I mean, it was the most amazing video camera setup I have ever seen in my life. So Tim and Mario, a little bit of a bow down. No question. My setup, okay, first off, I've got 2 ring lights right here. And the ring lights are hooked to the wall by a bicycle hook. So my husband went to Walmart and he bought 2 bicycle hooks that you would put in your garage. And that is how my ring lights are hung. I can take them on and off if I have to. I mean, they're just literally hung up on on a bicycle hook. And then, and people do not believe me, but it is true. Maybe, I mean, I'll try to take a picture one day. My camera is viced onto a piece of wood, a 2x6 piece of wood that's this big. It's about this big. Again, we went to Home Depot and they had a spare little piece of wood on the floor and they gave it to Michael. So he brought it home and he put L brackets on the top and the bottom and my camera's viced into that. That's my setup. Tim and Mario, there's like lighting everywhere and there's a sound, like a soundboard it looked like. I was like, oh, this puts things in perspective. When I say we're a mom and pop shop, I mean it. I don't even have an overhead camera. I tilt my camera down. It's been doing it since the beginning. I don't know any different. I don't know any better. But wow. If you haven't seen it and you want to go over to Instagram, I think they posted like 5 pictures of it. And I'm telling you, well done, gentlemen. I tip my hat, I bow down, I concede, I get it. Really put things in perspective for me. I'm like, oh, well, at least I have a good camera. Anyway, okay, so I've got winner chicken dinner to talk about. We always give away gifts, gift cards for winners who post a comment on this YouTube. You would win next week. So if you are watching, you have an entire week to get that comment posted below. If you are here for the live chat, which is over there on a desktop or a laptop, and maybe below if you're on a different device, live chat comments don't count. So you've got to post in the comment section. It'll be approved, and then you go into the running to receive a $100 gift card. We also have a sneak peek leading up to this video that I also leave up. So even though you're watching this video now and it's no longer a sneak peek, you can go find that short on the Scrapbooking Made Simple YouTube channel. You can post a comment there and then you have a chance to win some goodies from my crafting table. You post what it is you'd like to win. I'm not sure that's what you're going to receive because I've already pulled the selection that we're going to send to you. But hey, free crafty stuff is free crafty stuff and a $100 gift card is a $100 gift card. So I have 3 winners to announce. I hope it was okay to talk about Tim and Mario. I'm just in awe, really. I mean, I was blown away and so impressed, and yes, a little jelly, not like jelly plate, but a little jealous. Yes, I'm like, wow. But I've got what I've gotten. It's gotten me by so far, so that's what we're gonna get. Okay, so I cleaned my glasses. So I'm gonna read off who our winners are, and I'm gonna do the first one. She already knows she's a winner if she watched the sneak peek that I was talking about, because we show who won from last week. So our first winner who has received an assortment of goodies is Michelle Wimpelberg. Hello, Michelle. How are you doing? That was the Hunky Dory, and that was the Paper Favorites, and it was the Pearlex, and it was a little bit of everything. Wasn't that a good class? That was super fun. You are our winner chicken dinner from the sneak peek, and I have an assortment of goodies coming your way. They will ship out the 1st of next week. Congratulations to you. Now the two winners who have won a $100 gift card, well, hello, $100 worth of free money to spend on anything you want. Yeah, I think most people would sign up for that. All you have to do is post a comment below. That's your chance. And if you don't post a comment, I am 100% positive you will never win. That I'm sure of. And your comment can be like, hey, post. Smiles, post. How you doing? Post. Had tuna fish for dinner tonight? Post. As long as it's kind, that's all it needs to be, is something that is kind and put a smile on somebody's face. So you post and you might find yourself a lucky winner like these two lovely ladies. All right, so I heard lady but in my head, but that dates me. Lizetta. Is it Lizetta? Oh, Keneal? Lizetta Keneal. Did I come close, Lizetta? Is that anywhere close? Are you going to forgive me because you just won $100? How are you going to spend that? Are you going to go online right now and like spend it all? Are you going to save it and like savor it and like add things to your cart and then take things out and then add things to your cart? Are you going to do $20 every time? How are you going to spend that money? Because it is yours and it is already in your online account. Congratulations, Lizetta. Our next winner probably is on the live chat, and if she's not there yet, she will be soon. Hello, Teresa. Teresa Parker, congratulations. You are winner chicken dinner of a $100 gift card. Wahoo kachoo for you. Hello, girlfriend. Hello. Hey, girl, hey. Congratulations, Teresa. I'm so excited for you. Are you taking a screenshot? Are you taking a picture? Are you calling your fur babies? Are you calling your spouse? Are you calling your significant other? Are you calling your children? Are you calling your grandchildren to say, oh my gosh, I just won $100? Well, you did, Teresa. You and Lizetta, $100. And Michelle, an assortment of goodies from last week's Saturday with Stacey YouTube class. Congratulations, all three of you. Now, to make it official, we have to do the winner chicken dinner dance. That's just what we do. So if you are ready, we need to sit up straight. Sit up straight. We got to kind of get into the groove. You're a winner, chicken dinner. You're a winner, chicken dinner. Wahoo, kachoo for you. Congratulations to the three of you. I hope you enjoy everything, and from us to you, thank you for supporting and for posting and for watching and for being a good friend. We so appreciate all of you. Okay, on to today's class. I am working with a gel plate by Gelli Arts. And I haven't done a gel plate class in years and years. And I'm going to start at the beginning. So those of you who are overly familiar with a gel plate, there's some things that I have to show you that I think you'll find interesting. But I think I need to start at the beginning. Will this be the last class with a Gelli plate? I don't think so. I think Gelli Arts and I, we didn't really know each other. We met each other and we've talked and it's just really exciting, and we're getting things planned for in the studio with Stacey classes. There's just a lot happening. So I thought the best way to do a gel plate class was to start at the beginning as if you don't have one or haven't seen one. And then as we go, because I know there's fabulous tutorials out there where they start layering all the paint and getting it's amazing. But if we don't get the beginnings done, if we don't understand the concepts of it, jumping that far ahead will leave people behind. Now, I have new product from Gelli Arts that you may not have seen before, even if you are a gel plate guru. So we're going to be playing with that today, but I've got a lot to show and a lot to share. And we will be working with the soft pastels, perhaps painting with them. We will be, when they're not chalky, we will be using our Ecoline liquid watercolors, perhaps dropping the color, perhaps painting with it. There's just a lot to do. So I'm going to tilt down and I'm going to get started, because if I don't, we won't finish. And I want to be sure that even the newest of crafters feels like they got their time, the time was well spent. I can't say your money's worth because you're not paying for the class, it's free. But at least your time is valuable. So I want you to feel it was time well spent, and that when you leave today's class, you have a better understanding of what this gel plate does, how it works, why you would want it, or maybe no, you've been thinking about it, you see them everywhere, but now maybe you want to give it a little more thought. That's important too. I am going to be showing you what not to do with some of this stuff, because what not to do is as important as what to do. And not everything is going to come out perfect. This is an unedited, unscripted class. It is pre-taped so I can live chat with you, but there are no edits. What happens, happens. And we fix it and we make it right. We learn from our mistakes and we embrace them and keep going. So if you're looking for that perfect class where everything just is, it's all cut in and edited, and that's not this class. If you're looking for what you would get if you walked into a store and took a class, sometimes you never know what's going to happen. You think your machine's going to work and then the handle comes off right in the middle of teaching a class. So we're going to tilt down. We're going to get started for today. I've got a couple samples to show you, but there's so much to be done. So I hope you stay for the entire class. I think it's worth your time. Time is valuable. I get it. You might have to chunk this class up a little bit and watch a little bit now and a little bit later. But I do think that it's a valuable class. So, isn't this card beautiful? Be real, not perfect. Boy, howdy. I didn't even know that that's what it was going to say, but that's kind of the sentiment for today's class. This one was done by honorary SMS girl Mary. And when I say honorary, these are ladies who volunteer their time and talents every Wednesday. Almost every Wednesday. Somebody's taken a trip to Hawaii for like 3 weeks, but we love you anyway. but they come in and they just have the best time on Wednesdays, and they make the samples. Now this one was done by Claire. Claire is an SMS girl. She works here at Scrapbooking Made Simple. This one was done by Claire and me. I did the coloring. Claire did the matting. It was a combined effort. I was going to throw it away. They're like, no. Okay, so we're going to be working with a gel plate today, and this one is by Gelli Arts. What is a gel plate? Well, first off, I want to tell you, and maybe I can open this one. When you get yours, if you don't have one and you want one, when you get it, it is going to be beautifully crystal clear. Ooh, If you have a die cutting machine, it's like opening up new cut plates for the very, very first time. It's like super exciting. They're just perfectly clear. However, there will come a time where you will have used it a few times, and it might not be as clear as it was before. So this is my gel plate. And it's not crystal clear. It's loved and used. It's like a good stencil. Stencils that aren't inky haven't been used enough. So this is my gel plate. Now, what is a gel plate? Well, you would think that it would be like a gelatin, but it's not. It's not made out of gelatin. It is something that is far more stable than gelatin. It doesn't have to be refrigerated, and I think, well, I don't know the secret sauce. Because I don't own the company. Hey, Luann, you want to tell me the secret sauce? Well, I do believe that it is a photopolymer type of material, so it is very, very stable. Like I said, it doesn't have to be refrigerated. I know there's lots of tutorials on how to make your own gel plate with gelatin, but I'm going to tell you, it's easier just to buy one. Buy a good one. Buy one that's going to last you the test of time, because you're never going to have to replace it. I think it's made up of a photopolymer type of material, and I know it has mineral oil in it. So it's got this beautiful give and gush. It comes in multiple sizes. We have the 5x7 and the 8x10, and it really does last you quite some time. Now, it does a lot without doing anything. And you're like, well, how can that be, Stacey? Well, here, let's pull out some paper. Does a lot without doing anything. I'm going to need way more paper than that, but this is a start. Even if I didn't want to use it as a gel plate, it will hold my paper and it won't move. So it's almost like a sticky grid without it being a sticky grid. It does not move. My paper will not move. It'll pop off as soon as I lift it up, but when I put it down, so if I'm stenciling something over the top, it does not move. And that's without it doing anything at all. Also, because I believe it to be some sort of a photopolymer type of material, if you wanted to do reverse or mirror stamping, you could stamp your image here right onto your gel press and then put your paper down and pick it up, and you would have a mirror image of what you were doing. So if you had a birdie that was facing one direction and you stamped it here and its little beak was here, and you wanted a mirror image so that they faced each other, you would stamp here and you could pick it up. Now, the 5x7 is the size I've chose to use today, and I think it's probably, for card makers, it's the easiest size to use. The 10x8 is actually more economical in terms of pricing, but the 5x7 might be a better size or a better fit for you. If you can afford the 10x8, I highly recommend it, because you get more space for just a little bit more money, and always having more space is a benefit. But if you are trying to keep it on a budget or you're limited in space, I would definitely stick with the 5x7. Now, how do you clean these? Well, you have a couple options. You can clean them with water and a paper towel. You can clean it with a baby wipe to get some of the paint and stuff off. You can also clean it with a Gamsol or a mineral spirit, because it is made with mineral spirits. So you have the opportunity to also take a little bit of your mineral spirits, and we'll do that a little bit later, so when it gets really dirty, and wipe it up. Oh, but you can even see now that black is coming off. Also, if you were to use a hand sanitizer, a gel hand sanitizer, that also is going to clean it up. You can tell I was working with black paint. That will also clean it up. But they are very hardy, and they last. I mean, it's a tool. It's something that you invest in, but it's not an expensive tool. And yet the benefit that it gives you back is tremendous if you choose to use it. Now, if all you do is put your paper down and put your stencil on and stencil, it's worth the money right there. So before we get started with that, I want to talk to you about some other product that Gelli Arts has just launched recently. They're called image transfers, and we're going to be using these today. They have them in 2 packs. They have the wildflowers and the Lisbon tiles. You get 20 sheets in each. There's 5 designs, 4 of each. And these are a way of introducing yourself to a Gelli Art plate. This is going to let you make a very simple transfer. It's going to be easy, it's going to be effective, it's affordable, and it is not scary. It's kind of your gateway into your Gelli plate, especially if you own one and you haven't taken it out of the package. Now, I just know there's a few of you out there who own one of these and haven't taken it out of the package yet. Time to take it out of the package. Go get it. Let's do this. And these transfers are going to help you feel so accomplished because you've watched all of these videos where they're rolling their paint down and then they're putting their leaves down or their flowers down and then they're picking up the color and then they're rolling another color down and they're putting their paper back down and then they pick it up again and then they put another color down and then they add texture. I mean, they're beautiful, they are, but that's not where everybody starts. Those people didn't get to that level without starting where we're starting. You gotta start at the beginning. And even if you say a gel press is not for you, hang with me. I've got things to show you. And it starts with these transfer sheets. So, I'm actually gonna put this to the side for a minute, and we're gonna play with these first. So if I open them up, look at the designs. So 4 of each, 4 sheets of 5 different designs. And they're beautiful. So the wildflowers here, and the Lisbon tiles. I probably shouldn't throw that away. Elena would probably say, please don't throw that away, Stacey. Okay, I won't, Elena. The Lisbon tiles. Here. Right? Beautiful. Now, maybe you have already convinced yourself and you are 100% positive that you are not going to do anything with a gel press. Okay, I hear you. Let me show you what you can do with these without the gel press. So first off, they feel like a magazine. That's the type of paper it is. It feels very much like a magazine. And, oh, which one do I want to do? That one's real pretty. We'll do that one. Now, well, let's do apples to apples. Just so you can see. I'm gonna use 2 of them. Oh! So, what if you just wanted to color this? What if you didn't want to do the transfer technique I'm gonna show you? What if you just love the image and you just want to color it? Can you? Yes, you can. And where the ink that you want to use is a watercolor, a liquid watercolor. Marker coming in here, not so good, because the minute you put the color down, it really just stays where you put it. There's not a lot of time to move things around and melt things into each other. So if you're coloring with a marker and you're just wanting a single color all the way through, that's okay. But if you want to have shading and highlight and tones and just pretties, then you want to work with a liquid watercolor. Now we carry Ecoline from Royal Talents, and that's because I'm a brand ambassador for Royal Talents. Am I paid to be a brand ambassador? No. Do I get sponsored to be a brand ambassador? No. Do I get I mean, there's the thing about being a brand ambassador is that I get to be educated, well educated on Royal Talents product, and for that, sign me up all day long. The liquid watercolors are a highly saturated watercolor where very little water is actually needed, or you can put so much water down that the colors just melt into each other. I want to show you, I'm going to put some color, and I'm going to play with two colors. So I've got my little palette here. There's a little pipette. Ecoline has been around for a long time. Royal Talents has been in business since 1899, and Ecoline, I want to say, has been around since the 1930s. That's how long this product has been made. And because it's fine art quality product, if you were to get Ecoline 390 today, and a year from now you need to buy a jar of Ecoline 390, and 10 years from now you need to buy a jar of Ecoline 390, the colors are going to be exact. It just is. That's how beautiful the product is. So I put a little bit in my palette, and I'm using my Fusion watercolor brushes today. Since I'm using watercolor, I'm not using acrylics or anything like that, so I can use my better watercolor brushes. These are from Yasutomo, and they are beautiful. They are not expensive for what they are. We sell them in the rounds, we sell them in the flats. In fact, this is my set right here, which has lots of them. So we sell them in the rounds, and the rounds come with this little bamboo, the traditional bamboo way to store and dry, but I put my flats in there as well. So I probably have a couple of each size, but you really will not go wrong with these. They're beautiful brushes. Now, if I was going to come in here and paint a little bit of water, just a little bit of water and a dab. So that's almost too much water. And my color is really going to stay where it is I put it. In fact, I think I'm going to start with a little bit of light pink. Just come in here and right over my paper. And I'm not being overly neat about where I'm putting everything. I'm just getting some color down, which I should have done there. I should have started with a light color. So almost a scribble, 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 just to get some color in there. And then I can come back. But what I want you to see is that the more, even though I'm not using any water at all, because of the type of paper it is, the more I add in, the wetter the paper becomes. Now, what happens to a magazine when it gets wet? It buckles. And ultimately, that's what's starting to happen to my paper. Can you see the warpage? We don't want that to happen. That's not what we're looking for. So how do we fix that? How do we make sure that that doesn't happen? Well, first things first, maybe I use a slightly smaller brush. First things first, we're going to back this onto some paper. So I'm going to I'm just going to grab some white cardstock. Now I can't take some Stacey tape which is double-sided adhesive to put this down, because that will leave all of this. Usually we just put Stacey tape around the edges and then put it down. But of course, if I add water, it would still buckle. So what can I do to keep this from buckling and make sure I have nice adhesion all over? We're gonna use sticky dots. Sticky dots are a Simply Defined product. They're micro dots. There's 10 sheets in here. They're 8.5 by 11, and we brought them out to be used with very intricate die cuts. But they're also going to work here. Now, first things first, I want to make sure that I don't have any sticky dots on my liner, because they can transfer. So this is my liner sheet. I've wiped off my sticky dots, that way they don't transfer over. And here are my dots. I'm gonna take and put my transfer sheet down. Now this isn't what it was intended to do, and it's quite possible that everybody at Gelli Arts is like, oh my gosh, what is this girl doing with our product? But well, that's who I am. I kind of take it and we make it more than it was supposed to be. And maybe you just love the designs. Maybe these florals are absolutely speaking to you. And you get 20 sheets and they're $15 and then on sale. Ready to go. All you gotta do is start to color. But first, we're gonna back it on something. So I'm giving a nice back rub here. And then I peel it up. And I have got adhesive all over the back of my transfer sheet. Now, I put it here. Give a good press. And now I've got some stability to my, what feels like a glossy magazine paper. I've got some rigidness to it. I've got some place for the liquid to go. You still can't overdo because you've got adhesive underneath it, but you can certainly get it going. So let's see, I'm gonna add a little bit of water to my brush just to get it started, but I don't want too much water. You will not see me go back and forth into water. I'm just gonna play with a little bit of our Ecoline liquid watercolor. So what I should have done in the beginning is I should have started with my light pink and brushed it in, just to give everything kind of a little base of color. And I'm not going to go over everything a million times. I'm just getting it in there. So you could travel with these. And be able to do them on an airplane, because you can take your Ecoline on an airplane, or whatever liquid watercolor you have. But if you don't have any, Ecoline really is amazing. You're playing with fine art quality product, even though I am not a fine artist. Now my little drops went pretty far. Still have some in there, my little drops. And now I'm going to come back and add just a little bit of my darker color. I'm going to wipe off. I'm going to pick up a little bit of my light pink. And I'm going to marry them together. Need a little more light pink. Get my pipette. Put another couple drops. So at a drop at a time, you can imagine how, and this is dark. This I'm not even getting a drop. I mean, I'm picking up such a little amount. Then I wipe it off with my finger, add a little bit of pink, and then kind of soften it into each other. I have too much of this color in here. I could have literally done a drop and been fine. So if you are already thinking, I am not looking to do anything with a gel plate, well, first off, wait. But second, look at how easy this is to do. I don't know if they had intended for anybody to use them just as they are. And I don't tell manufacturers what I'm doing with their product before I do it. They have to watch just like everybody else. Since I'm not a sponsored spokesperson for anybody, I'm not paid. You can't buy a YouTube. Manufacturers think that they can, sometimes they call and say, so how much does it cost if we want you to do a video with our product? And it's like, nope, sorry. That's not quite how it works. Maybe others, but not us. I have to love the product. There has to be a reason for it. It has to exceed the expectations. And ideally, it has to be something that is affordable. Look at how pretty this is coming out. So a liquid watercolor is important if you're going to do this. Markers will not give you the time to come back in and blend your colors. The liquid lets me go quick and kind of smooth everything out. The marker would potentially add almost too much. But since I've backed it onto paper, my buckling is at a minimum, and I'm not going over things again and again and again. A little bit of light pink. And I'm always pulling color off onto my hand. I'm always pulling that color off so that there's less of it. Okay, last one. And just like that, I use two colors. I could come back and dip in here and go a little darker at the top if I wanted. Just to give a little bit more shadow. And I mean, I'm barely putting my brush into that color. The color is so intense. And because I'm using such little amounts of the liquid and I've backed it onto paper, it's not buckling. So you can use these transfer sheets just as they are. Nothing else needed. but your liquid watercolor. Will soft pastels work? No, not so good. They need a lot more water to get them to move. We use a baby wipe with those. Would not be necessarily the best thing to use. So now I've added a little bit more dimension. Now I could take a little bit of my yellow. Is that the yellow I want? Yeah, 202 is good. And again, little drops. Don't put too much in your palette. You can always add little drop. Now I've got my center done. I could also take my yellow, little, and move it into my pink. Every time I'm doing that, I'm taking ink off my brush. I'm almost at a dry brush right now. Little bit. So now I've used all of 3 colors. But adding that yellow in adds a little bit more dimension. And I'm just, you see me, I'm just whipping it in, kind of getting it in there. Some are a little bit higher than others, some a little bit lower. So super easy and has nothing to do with a gel press at all. I'm just going to go in and paint. So it's like a beautifully stamped image that you didn't have to stamp. And because we backed it, we know that it's not going to buckle. And it's dry. The images are lovely. They really are lovely. Maybe add a little yellow into some of these. If I had a brown, I'd add a little bit of brown into some of these, but I don't have a brown sitting on my table. But have you seen me dip into water at all? No, me neither. All right, so this is one of the ways to use the transfer sheets without having to transfer. Let's grab one of the tiles. All right, well, let's grab this one. This really is very pretty, and I really would like to finish it. It's lovely. And it took this much ink. That's Ecoline for you. That's what quality gets you. Doesn't have to cost more quality, but it sure can be a lot more than you gave it credit for. So I'm gonna put this down, and we're gonna go ahead and make sure that there's no sticky dots on my, oh, see, sticky dots. Stacey! I put it on the wrong side. That's my liner. There's all my sticky dots. I just wiped off all my sticky dots. Holy smokes, I'm like, that's a lot on the liner. Okay, well, like I said, these classes are not perfect. So I put my transfer sheet on the wrong side. Okay, come on. Oh man, I can't get it. Let's try another side. There we go. This time, let's put my sticky dots, or my transfer sheet on the side that has the sticky dots. That would be important. Like, that's wiping away a lot of sticky dots. Yeah, see, like, there's none on here. Make sure that nothing there, nothing on my hands. And let's get this one down. Good rub. Now you see, if you any kind of a die cutter, you can see how useful this would be for intricate die cuts, because you don't have to use any kind of glue at all. Put it down, and there's no goobers, and the sticky dots remain anywhere you didn't use paper on top of it. So I could come back and use sentiments all along here to pick up all of those sticky dots. Okay, down. I feel like I got my fingers on it, but that's okay. Yeah, see, I got my finger on it right there. All right, and let's just color this one real fast. And maybe this time I'll use a flat brush. And we'll use a little bit of my yellow. And of course, if these dry in my palette, all I have to do is add just a drop of water to reactivate them. So I need to put a little bit of water on my brush just so it has, you know, it's able to move, but I don't want so much water because I don't want anything to buckle. Yeah, I put my blue down too fast. I don't know if I'm going to get it to move. Or maybe I needed my bigger brush. Nope, see, it's stuck. It isn't going to go anywhere. That's as far as it's going to go. Where it is where it is. That's why markers, Not the best of ideas. Let's try again. Let me use a slightly bigger brush. Yeah, this side's better. I'm going to see if I can fix this down here. I'm just going to keep layering. Can't go too much because eventually it'll start to buckle, but so far I'm still good. I haven't added too much water. And I'm just layering my color on. And I think I might have fixed it. A drop. No more than a drop at a time. I'm gonna let it dry. And we're gonna see what happens. Well, it's almost dry. I think I want just a little bit more yellow. Oh, yes. Okay, I am not angry at this at all. Liquid watercolor. We're gonna let that one dry. Now remember, this was the first one we did that didn't have the backing, and you can see how it's buckled. But by adding the backing, it gives us the stability to add our paint. And this isn't what these were meant for. I'm using them in a way that was not intended. I'll get to what was intended. I promise. All right, so let's start with the gel press. The gel plate. I never knew if it's a gel plate, a gel press. I'm just gonna leave those colors in there because I might use them again a little bit later on. I really am not mad at this one because see, if we cut away the noise, you're in a hurry, you need to make something, you don't want to stamp, bam, cut this into half, and you've got enough for 2 cards. Look at that. And not what it was intended for at all, but does it matter? No, we're making more out of things than they're supposed to be. All right, so let me put this here, and let me put my little brushes back where my brushes belong, or at least close. Close is good. And now let's talk about the gel plate. So again, it is not gelatin. It is it does not need to be refrigerated. It is stable. It is not something that you have to do over and over again. Eventually, I think a gelatin one would disintegrate, would just absolutely, and they won't give you the same results. This is a fine art quality product. And you're like, how could it be fine art? Trust me, this is a fine art quality product. That's what Gelli Arts is. They are more in the fine art area of the world than perhaps in the paper crafting world. Paper crafters use them because they're fabulous, but artists use them as well because they're fabulous. And for the price, it's just best to have the quality and the stability and the product that you know is going to work for you each and every time. So what am I going to do with this? Today I'm going to keep it simple. We're going to do a couple different techniques, but I am only going to play with black acrylic paint. This is my Amsterdam black acrylic. So Amsterdam, again, a Royal Talents product, again, a fine art product. This is beautiful acrylic paint. There are many out there. You could go to the dollar store and buy $1 acrylic paint. Will it be what's in this bottle? No. Will it work? I don't know. You would have to try. I just know that this is under $10 and it's going to last you a lifetime. You're also going to need a brayer. Now I want to let you know that when I started with this brayer, the roller was originally red. I don't think I'm going to see the red roller ever, ever, ever again. And I'm okay with that. I mean, I can clean it, but I don't know that I'm ever going to see a red roller again. I think it's just going to be what it's going to be. And when I use it with my acrylics, my liquid acrylics, my acrylic ink, then it becomes a whole different color. So we're going to be playing with our Amsterdam acrylic paint today. It is opaque, 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 opaque. That means that you're not going to be able to see through it. And it has 3 of the little plus signs. Let's see if I can get those in there. 3 of the little plus signs. That means that the light fastness on this is 100 years or more. And the solid little box here means that it's opaque. That's the Royal Talents kind of code as to their different paints and their different inks. If the box is completely full, then it's opaque. If it is completely empty, if it's just the outline of a box, then it's transparent. And light fastness has everything to do with how long your project can stay out in light before it starts to fade. Well, 3 pluses is the best you can get. That's 100 years or more. If your project's going to be out for 100 years or more, well done you. Now, I'm going to start with embossing folders and using a gel plate with embossing folders. We will get to the transfers, but I want you to see that even just having this with tools you already have in your crafty stash, like embossing folders, it will work. It gives you another way to use your embossing folders. It gives you another option. These are Tim Holtz embossing folders. We have a few of them left, not too many. They're online, they're on sale, but when they're gone, they're gone. Now, how much do you put down? I tend to be heavy-handed, and I have to be careful of that because too much is too much. You want to put some, some little dots all the way down. You don't want to just put them at the top and then roll down. You don't want to put them here and roll down. You don't want to put them here and roll. You want to put them kind of in the middle. That's too much, I can already tell. Well, maybe not. Because then you're going to come in and you're going to spread it out. If you do just across the top and you spread it, the top is always going to have more paint than the bottom. If you do it here and spread it, the top is always going to have more paint than the bottom. You just want to get in there and get this in. You don't want to have it translucent. See, I can see through my gel plate right there. I can tell you that that's not enough. So I want to make sure I have a nice amount. Sometimes I have too much, sometimes I don't have enough. And I'm going to take my Tim Holtz embossing folder and I'm going to do the front side first. So I'm just going to press it right in. Now, if I do that, did you see that? I just smeared. I need to keep my plate, when I press it down, I need to keep it in one place. So let's see if I can add a little bit more paint and save this. So I want to just press it in, straight down. Wherever it lands, and give a good press. And you have to give, oh, see, I just smooshed it, but that's okay. You have to give a good press. Ultimately, what you're doing is you're pushing that paint out of the way. The design is now pressing into the gel plate, pushing that paint out of the way. So if you don't have a good press, it's not going to have enough pressure to push that paint out of the way. And when you push that paint out of the way, what you get, ooh, oh, Stacey. Well, we're going to go with it. I pulled it. Can you see I pulled it? But can you see how you can see through? Because by pushing that embossing folder into it, I push the paint out of the way. Now I'm using mixed media paper. You can use heavy cardstock. I'm using a mixed media paper because I'm going to be adding liquid. And I want to make sure that my liquid has time to move. So sizing in a paper, when we're talking about fine art, is not the size of the paper. Sizing in a paper is talking about an additive that is put into the pulp or added to the top of paper that controls how quickly liquid absorbs into the paper. And so I'm using the Van Gogh mixed media paper because I know it will give me time to play, as opposed to my liquid going boop. Like if you have paper and you put some liquid on it and it goes, it has no sizing. Paper that has liquid on it and goes, sound effects required, guys. You got it? That's the sound effect. That means it's got a little sizing. Paper that you put liquid on it and it goes, has more sizing, and paper that you put liquid on it and it goes, maybe I'll now start to absorb, has the most sizing. And the more sizing, usually the better the paper is. So now I'm going to pull. So I had, well, we're going to keep it, but I think I had too much paint down. I think I should have cleaned it in between the time that I showed you not to smudge it. So a baby wipe. And a baby wipe. And we'll try it again. Because if at first you don't succeed, try again. This time I'll use less paint. And let me pull a few more. You know what? I think I'm just going to pull some bigger sheets and cut them. I think I'm just gonna pull some bigger sheets. So again, I'm using the Van Gogh mixed media paper. We have it in the 9 by 12, and we have it in the 5.5 by 8 sizes. But I'm just gonna pull some bigger sheets just so I have them. All right, so let's see. That should get me maybe a little ways. So I'm gonna cut off the edge. Now the edge is perforated. I could fold it and then take it off, but I don't have the patience to do that, so I just cut it off. And we'll just cut these. And that'll give me some more paper to play with. And we'll cut this one. This is the smaller size. This is the, I think it's 5.5 by 5.5 by 5.5 by 8.5. All right, so let's try again. Let's put some black on. Not too much. Just little daubs. You want it to cover so that you can't see anything coming through your gel plate, but you don't want it to be so thick. Let's try that, and we'll go again. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and push. And I'm pushing that paint out of the way. Wherever those embossing lines are, it's being pushed into the gel plate, forcing that paint to schmooze on over. Think I'm good? We'll give it a try. Oh yeah, that's so much better. I can already tell it's so much better. Way better. Put my paper on top. Give a back massage. And then pull. Yeah, better. Now you're looking at it going, I don't think so, Stacey. I don't like that at all. That's not me. I don't do that. That's you gotta wait. You gotta trust the process. I'm gonna clean this side. You gotta trust the process. And maybe we'll do it with one of his other folders that's got the little flourishes to it. Trust the process. Let's all say it together. Trust the process. When we're talking about new things that are different, that are unusual, that are a little foreign to some of us, you know, sometimes our gut reaction is no, because that's safe. It's not scary, but crafting isn't scary. Paper crafting isn't scary. This is meant to be experimental. It's meant to stretch our limitations of what we think we can do or what can be accomplished. Remember the first time that you ever heat embossed something and your mind was like, oh, or the first time you ever rolled something through a die cutting machine, or you watched somebody roll something through a die cutting machine, or you used a Cricut, or You stamped your first image, or you used watercolor pencils and you took that pencil and you made it into paint. Those were moments that you grew into your hobby. So this time I'm not going to use the front of the folder because I was using the front side. Now I'm going to use the back side, and you can tell it's the back side because, well, there's no printing on it. Front side has the printing, and it has the little Sizzix logo and Tim Holtz's name with that amazing setup he has for videoing. And then the back side is plain. Oh, you know, some things really do, they just put your life in perspective. I'm like, oh, okay. So a little bit of my ink, not too, that's probably enough. Maybe not. I can still see spaces. Well, let's see if I can get it covered. Okay, let's do the back side. And press. Embossing folders have two sides. You're going to get two completely different images. Think I'm good? Oh, we're gonna see. If not, we'll flip this over and do it again, because you know what else has two sides? Paper! It wasn't quite dry in the middle. So I've got that line there. But we're gonna use it anyway. Let's wipe up, we'll do one. Well, you know what, we won't. We won't do one more of this one. I'm gonna change my folder. And we'll try a different folder. We're still going to ink those. We're not done with them. So let's wipe this off and let's see what we get with our next folder. Natalie, if you're listening, I'm sorry. She's up in Canada, and I know that that noise probably is driving her crazy right now. She's on the chat. I'm sorry. I know it's kind of like the noise from a little stubby in your Gamsol. I'm sorry. Okay. So let's take our black, because all I'm playing with is black today. I want this to be an introduction so that you don't think you have to, one, buy a million different things. Press in. Eventually we will get to where we are layering color. But to get there, we have to start here. And you have to see that your embossing folders have another purpose, another use. Ready? I think that looks good. You just never know until you pull it. Put my paper down. Back massage, and you got to give it a chance to kind of dry a little bit. Not too long, but not too quick. And they're not meant to be an exact image. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to have a little bit of a distressed feel to it. So there's one side, and we'll do the other. So now I'm going to do the opposite side, the back side, and press in. Okay. And up. Ooh, I can tell that's good. So if I were doing this at home, I would have done the other side on this one. And that way I could have decided which side I'd prefer to use with just one sheet of paper. But so we can look at apples to apples, I'm giving up my back side. Boy, would I like to give up my backside. But if I were doing this at home to save on my paper, I would just flip my paper over and pull it and see which one I like better. Oh, I can already tell you I like this one better. So the same embossing folder, but two different looks. Same embossing folder, but two different looks. Now let's make them more than they're supposed to be. So we'll clean my gel plate. And I'm not going to clean it with my Gamsol until the very end. And some people don't clean their gel plates at all, and that's okay too. Just know that every time you layer something on top of it, it's going to pull that color that is still left. All right, I'm going to put this there for now, and we're going to play with these. So, baby wipe. Heck, I could put this on here to have it lay flat. It's just cemented there. Isn't that kind of cool? That's a good idea. Couple little drops. Couple little drops. And if I want it lighter in areas, so it's filling in everywhere there's white space. If I want it lighter in areas, I just continue to pick up with my baby wipe. And it'll lighten that area even more. And maybe I let my ink sit in some of these places for a moment. Let it sit there for just a minute. And then pick it up. Now, how cool is this? Done with a gel press. I think I need some more over there. So if I go in with my blue and I just let it sit there just for a minute. It'll darken up that whole little area. Maybe I want it a little lighter up here, so I come in and I wipe a little bit more off. But that doesn't look anything like what we started with. Once you add that color, it is bam. Now the acrylic paint is made with an acrylic binder. And an acrylic binder is a plastic, almost like a plexiglass. So it is water, well, it's moisture resistant is what it is. How cool is that? But we have the other one to do, the reverse. Here. I like this idea of just putting it down. Bam, works. I think I'm gonna open that 8.5 by, or the 8 by 10, and I'm gonna use that as a workspace. So, same thing, let's add some color. Kind of drop some drops. Little drops, I'm not even emptying my pipette. And then let's add some blue. And where my yellow is there, oh, I've got my yellow over here going, my yellow up there. How cool is this? And where that space is, now it looks intentional. Now it looks like I meant to do that. A little drop goes a very long way. Oh, that was a little bit of a drop. But how cool is that? I'm gonna let that sit there for just a second. And really let that color and then we cut it off. It is completely flat, completely dry, and totally cool. But we have the other. So let me put this, where am I putting all my samples? I'm putting all my samples up here. Okay. We have these two to play with as well. So let's put this one down and we'll do these. Let's see. Oh, I got some yellow on there. Okay. Let's put a little bit of pink and just, I mean, small drops, because this is a very bold, bright, vibrant color. Less is more, I can always add. And you'll notice that it may pull up a little bit of your black. That's okay. That's just whatever's residual that has not quite dried. Okay, and then what if we add some blue? I don't know if this is going to be too light of a blue. We'll try. Oh, that's a dark blue. Now I'm going to add some pink back in. Okay, we kind of got a kind of bluey, purpley, pink mixture going on here. And then we cut it away. And this was the one that I think I slid on, because you can see where the line is. But there's still some design there, so I'm going to let it be. All right, so I'm going to let this one be, and let's do the reverse, the other side here. Maybe I start with a slightly lighter pink. kind of do the whole thing in a light pink. Oh, well, isn't that pretty just by itself in the light pink? That's lovely. A little deeper in the pink. I'm not even doing the pipette, I'm just touching it to the paper. Ooh, this is coming out beautiful. Little light pink over here and there. Just kind of let that sit. And then it's going to pick up and lighten it. So pretty. And just a touch. Gosh, I think I'm done. Now, how easy was that? And of course, I would have used both sides, and that way I could have decided, do I like this side better? Or do I like this side better? Or do I like this side better? Or do I like this side better? I would have my options, but to show you side by side, I used 2 pieces of paper, but I like this side better. This is beautiful. So do you have embossing folders? Do you have a gel plate? If you do, all you need is some black acrylic paint. And do try to buy, yes, you can use the dollar store, but I can't guarantee the results you're gonna get. I just don't know. Better paint, better results. And being that the tube of acrylic from Amsterdam, it's not crazy expensive and it's gonna last you a really long time. If $10 is in your price range, I would just get the better. Gosh, that's really pretty. Look at how beautiful is that. Okay, that looks like printed paper. That looks like something that somebody like a manufacturer would have printed and be selling you for. That looks pretty good. They're called like a monoprint. And you are making your own paper, completely smooth, completely dry. But wow, what embossing folders do you own? Start thinking about this. A whole nother way to use them. Make your own paper. Oh, okay, so we started way back when we took our transfer sheets that we're gonna move into, and we backed them on paper because it's like magazine paper, and then we went in and we colored with our liquid watercolors from Ecoline. And here, I thought this one was ruined, but I saved it. So we started here. No gel press required, no gel plate, just the transfer sheets. There's 20 in each pack. You could be coloring for days. Then we moved into the gel plate and played with our, I'm just very impressed with myself, I have to tell you. I'm very happy with how both of these came out. Played with our embossing folders. using them in a completely different way. Now I have this one, and this one really got dark. Remember, this was the first one I did. Let's see if we can fix it. Because this one was I'm gonna cut off that side. This one was really dark. I had too much paint down. It doesn't have quite as much negative space as this one. This one has far more lines in between the little cobblestones. But hey, let's see what a girl can do. Got my baby wipe. Let's put my lids on. I'm horrible about that. Let's put my lids on. Ecoline is beautiful product, and this liquid watercolor is going to last you. What we do with it, all the different things that I do with it, if you are curious, in the studio with Stacey on Tuesdays is where we play with fine art product. And we really delve into it. I do a fine art, one type of product each month. So for at least 4 weeks, I'm using the same product again and again and again in different applications. So I pulled up some of the ink, trying to lighten it a little bit. And I did. Now let's get into another color. I'm going to let that sit there for a minute. I'll let that sit there for a minute. Okay, my cobblestones are coming together. I might let some sit up at the top for a minute or two, just to kind of try and lighten some of that. I'm going to let it just sit there. Give it a second to work into the paper. And then see if I can come back in and lighten it just a little bit. And I think I did. So even if you think it's a no can do, you need to give it a chance. Give it a chance. What's it gonna hurt to add some ink and let it sit and see how it marinates together? I want to wipe it off, but I want to give it I want to give it its time. I don't think I'm going to get much on that one. It's okay. I think that we made, certainly, it's a lot better than what it was. And it looks closer to this one. You can still see there's far more negative space to color on this one than this one. But I wouldn't throw this one away either. These are great guy cards. Great backgrounds, ready to go. All right, so now we have done embossing folders. We've done the transfer sheets without doing any kind of transfer. Now it's time to play with the transfer sheets the way that they are supposed to be used. Although as this dries, this one's starting to become really good. As it dries, it's getting better and better. Oh, decisions, decisions. All right, samples over there. That way I know where I put my stuff. Okay, so let's play with the transfer paper. What does it do? It transfers the image off of the paper onto your gel press. It is a one-time use piece of paper. You get 20 sheets, but they are a one-time use piece of paper. I am going to do some practice ones. Because sometimes you get it right and sometimes you need to work on it a little bit. So I'm going to take and just cut up my transfer sheets. And we'll play a little bit. Again, some of these may come out brilliantly and some may not. There's a definite method to it. It's not hard. It's a learning process. So we're going to put our inks away for right now. And I'm going to bring my black acrylic out and a couple of dollops. You don't want a really heavy coat, but you don't want a coat that's so thin that you can see through it. And I feel like that's what I have here, is a coat that's so thin that I can still see through it, but I don't want too much more. Well, I'm not sure, but we're going to try. Take my transfer sheet, put it straight down, and give it a little bit of back rub. Now, a very soft touch. My fingers are going to get dirty because I've got ink on the outside. If you're using a full sheet, you won't have that. A nice soft touch. And you want to give it just a second. Because then you're going to pull it up. And I can check to see if it's ready or not, kind of by a corner. Maybe a little second more, or maybe I didn't use enough ink or paint. Nope, it just pulled it right up. Yeah, not enough paint. So I pulled up my image. We'll try and pull it, but I'm not thinking so. Yep, nope, everything's dry. I didn't have enough paint. It was too thin of a coat. I thought it might be too thin of a coat, but now I'm sure it is. And this is why I took them and I cut them into little pieces so that I can play and try and finally figure out what's the right combination. I don't want to take a full design and put it on here for my first try. I want to cut them up and do a few little ones until I get it. These baby wipes, oh, I'm towards the bottom. That's why they're like really, really wet. Okay, let's try again. This time a little bit more paint. Take one of the transfers, put it down. Give it a nice back rub. Light touch, light touch. And then let's pull it up and see what we've got. And then down with my paper. And while I'm waiting on that to transfer, I could just clean my kind of clean around it. And then let's pull it and see what we have. Better, but still not quite enough paint. But better. My guess is that you'll use probably 2 sheets. If you cut it up, you'll use probably 2 sheets out of the 20 to learn. And you gotta learn, you gotta start somewhere. Now I'm thinking that's probably too much paint, but okay. Transfer sheet. Back rub. And let's pull and see what we have. Now it's kind of like a rub-on. If I pull up and I see that it's blotchy, I can try and put it back down to pick it up again. And right, that's beautiful, right over the top. Let's see what we get. Okay, and let's pull. And voila. It just takes a couple times. Now you may be, I'm still going to use this. You may be looking at this going, I don't understand it. You'll see. Now I can't use this again. It's done. Let's get a baby wipe and let's clean off and let's try and do a slightly, I still have this little one. Let's try and do a slightly bigger piece and see if we're any better with a slightly bigger piece. One of these in half. Clean off my plate. Now you would think that I've gone through a lot of paint, but you haven't. You've daubed it on gingerly. That acrylic paint is going to last quite some time. You don't use as much as you think you do. I'm usually very heavy-handed. And if you're heavy-handed, you just have to leave it, you need to leave the transfer sheet longer so that it can make the transfer, because it's got to get through that paint. Let's try a bigger piece. And let's pull it and see if we're there. And then let's put on our paper and give a press. And see how we do. Okay, we're on a roll. Let's try bigger. It's like a squeegee. Let's try bigger. So let's pull one of the flowers. That one. They're beautiful, aren't they? The sunflower. Love them. Maybe we'll try those too. And this time we're going to go all out. Who knows what we're going to get, but we're going to get it. All out. Go for it. So now you can see that it is totally covering our plate. Ooh, sorry, you guys. So not hard, just a light back rub. And let's pull. Oh, I hope I had enough paint down. Well, It would have been beautiful if I hadn't moved it. Oh, well, it's still gonna be beautiful. Look at that. Okay, I moved it. That was my mistake, but I'm gonna be able to cut a fabulous piece out. Okay, yum. Can't use this again. Let's do it again, do it again. I have all of these to play with, so let's clean this up. Yes, stock and baby wipes. And let's give it another whirl and do a full size. So now I don't flip my gel press over, my gel plate over. Do you? I just use the one side. Kind of sounds like a seal. All right, let's add some ink. Put down our transfer. Give a rub. Just so you're sure that every area has made a connection to the gel plate. Have my paper here waiting. Still doesn't feel quite right. And my print. Let's do it again. This time I think I am going to take a little bit of my mineral spirits. Or I could maybe I can pull the whole plate up. And clean it that way. Nope, not dry. Nope, it still left the stuff underneath it. All right, I'm just gonna clean it. I pulled up some, but it left some. So we'll just clean it. Although that looks very cool. it? No. Clean it. And we'll try again. I'm fairly happy with the prints I've got so far. They look pretty good. That feels pretty good. And let's pull another one. So we did that one and we did that one. I'm gonna go back just a little bit. At some point I'm going to need to clean my roller. Okay, what do you think? Try? And my paper. Oh. Hello, beautiful. Holy I think I needed to clean my plate. Holy smokes, artichokes. Yes, let's do it again. See, now I could take another, but that's not for now. That's for later. I could pull that black if I put another color on top of it, but that's a later class. This is a today class because then we're going to color some of these. Maybe a little Gamsol. So a little mineral spirits just to clean. Oh, see, it's starting to look at that. Oh my gosh, can you see that? Now you can see through. That's how dirty, but that's okay. You know what? We're gonna go for it. So the plate is made of mineral spirits and it can be cleaned with mineral spirits. All right, I'm just gonna go for it. Let's try another. Let's see, I need to get a couple more pieces of paper. We'll do two more. full size, and see what we get. And then we'll start to color. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. The honorary SMS girls started, and Claire, and they started, and it was a little bit of a bumpy start, but I had them cut the pieces down so they could try. They needed to try and figure out the methodology behind it. And then once they got it, they were off to the races. So what one, oh, we haven't done, what one haven't we done? We've done that one and that one. Now this one is going to come out kind of distressed because the image is kind of distressed, but we'll try. And then we'll do a background as the last one. I put a lot down. It might take a minute for this to that'd be a lot of paint. Well, this one's going to take a hot second for it to kind of dry. So maybe I put too much paint. But we'll just give it an extra minute. Just a nice little rub. Oh, my poor fingers. Inky hands. Inky hands are happy hands. Now you could do this with any color. It doesn't have to be black. It does. You do want to use an acrylic paint though. I could have been doing this with reds or yellows or greens or blues, and eventually we'll get into layering the different colors. What do you think? Give it a try. Let me get my piece of paper over here. And no, it is not done yet. It is not finished baking. I can lift up the side and see that the image hasn't pulled yet. Yeah, see, no. Too much paint. See, I can see that this is good. I don't know if you can see that because I can see through it, but I can't see. The paint still is not pulling up in all areas. That means it's not dry enough yet. Oh, that's looking good. Oh, that's looking good. Okay, that's looking good. Could have been a little drier up here at the top, but we'll see what happens. Oh. Okay, that's looking good. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, I got one more piece of paper. We'll do one of the back. One of the tiles. And then we'll start to paint. maybe that one. So we have that one, we have this one, we have this one, we have this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's one. Oh, we got that one. We got that one. Oh, here. And that one. So those are the 5 different in the tiles. And again, you don't have to use your gel press at all. I've got a little more paint on than I normally do because I tend to be a little heavy-handed. And in the meantime, for just a second, clean my brayer off a little bit. So I can kind of take a peek and have a look-see. And lift up and see if I can see the design. Nope, I can't see the design, so it's not time yet. And the more paint you lay down, the longer it will take for that design. But the less paint you lay down, the faster you have to be getting your top sheet on before the acrylic paint dries. No, almost. See, I still have too much at that top. But you just get better and better the more you do. Look at that. Okay, let's play. I'm gonna move my gel press out of the way. Now I'm gonna wait and clean it later. And I am gonna clean off my table a little bit. Or I could flip it. Oh, I could still use it and put, you know what? Maybe I'll still use it and just put my stuff on top of it. Okay, so do we wanna use soft pastels? Do we wanna use liquid watercolor? What do we wanna use? Do we wanna use both? So we went, wait, let's grab some of the, this was one of the first ones we did. I'm just gonna stick it on there because it sticks. And maybe I get out some of my soft pastels. which are not chalky and they do not make a mess. Right onto my baby wipe. Pull some of the color is okay. And I just hit it with color. And we made our first background. One down. What's next? And just hit it with our baby wipe. These are Rembrandt soft pastels. They're fine art quality, but their price is insane. It's so low for what it is. And well, I finally have permission to continue my buy two get one free on my soft pastels. And that makes them like for 15 sticks like $23. And the sticks last you a very long time. And what you can do with a baby wipe is amazing. I'm going to leave a little bit of that black distress and those distressed edges. 2. Done. Now what if we wanted to paint with our, oh, which one do we want to do? We wanted to paint. Can you paint with your soft pastels? Yes. Grab some brown. Put my green away for now. I'm going to need my warm yellows. So what if I came in and do I want a bigger brush? Let's get our brush a little wet. Pastels love water. In fact, you can just leave your pastel in its little holder and you can literally pick your color up that way. This might be too big of a brush. And I can go in and paint. Pastels are wonderful. They are as close to pure pigment as you can get. They have a little bit of binder in them, so when activated with the water, they don't rub off. And they do love water. They're not afraid of being wet. I can dilute them down if I want, so that my colors are a softer color. But if you are on a budget and you want something that's going to let you do multiple different applications, soft pastels is an excellent option, because you can paint with it. You can use your baby wipe with it. We do so many different things with a soft pastel. I have a whole month of classes on soft pastels, and they're confined in their little carry case. And they're going to last you a really long time. Okay, let's trade out. Now this is my kind of painting. I'm scribbling more than I am painting. It's already a distressed looking sunflower. A little bit more water. And the pastels are just they're gonna dry right in its own little case there. And then I can come back with a little bit of my yellow again. Just to kind of blend those colors together. And then maybe a little bit of brown. And look at me go, Mom. Now, I'm not doing the hard work. The pastels are doing the work. And Rembrandt is a fine art brand. It is not a paper crafting brand. It's not something you would typically find in a paper crafting store. And then maybe I come back in with my yellow again. I always go back to my home color because that's what allows me to kind of blend them and pull everything, tie everything together is that home color. Oh, we're getting there. I've got a lot of water on this brush. And look at what we did. With soft pastels. 2 palettes. I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors. And bam. Let's bring out our, we want to use our red. Baby wipe. baby wipe. A little bit of darker red. Come back with my yellow. And I used a little bit of a lighter yellow. And we did all of this. These transfer sheets are amazing. Give yourself a couple sheets to get the hang of it, and start cutting them really small. And then the next sheet do maybe in half. And then the next sheet try a whole one. And bam. Okay, let's try our liquid watercolors. And do we want to paint? Do we want to kind of go over it all? This is the one that I did cockeyed. That's okay. And it wouldn't be me if we didn't add yellow. And we just color. You all can do this. You can do this. I'm not thinking about it. There's no rhyme. There's no reason. I'm just going for it. And the hardest part I have is telling myself to stop. So let's cut this to what it should have been. Stacey. There. And we can do something with this. How fast and simple was that? Transfer sheet, hello, yes please. But then maybe we want to paint. Like paint. So we bring our palette back. And we put our little drops in. And no, I don't think it's gonna hold. And we get our brush a little wet. I don't think it's gonna hold. I think I got too much on it. Oh yeah, see, backside it held. Now I haven't dipped back in for more paint yet, or for more ink. Little water. Might be time. I might have to dip back in, but I haven't dipped back in since that first pull, the first little run of paint, or ink. This is ink. And let's see what our pink does. I'm adding a little bit of water to my petals first. And then I'm going in and grabbing the pink. So it starts to move right away. It starts to blend right away. Just by having the water already on the petals. Add a little more yellow to blend it together. The ink does the work for you. The ink does the work. So I have this one ready to go. Take a little bit of water on my paintbrush, come in, get my petals wet, just with water. And then I can drop some of my drop some of my pink and let the water just take it. Little drops will do ya. That's 3 drops I put, well, I think 4. And just let the water do the work. You look like a watercolor artist because you're using fine art quality product that does a better job for you than something that is not fine art. Like I said, fine art isn't the talent level of the person, it's the quality of the product. Now, I might not be able to achieve these results with a lesser quality product. They won't be as saturated, they won't be as pigmented, they won't blend as nicely. Anything's possible. But when I can just dab, dab, dab and make magic happen, and as it dries, it just becomes better and better. So I just picked up a little bit of that, and even though we haven't used it, I just re-wet it, and into my centers it goes. I love that I can be creative, and it can look good, and yet I don't have to be super talented. And as it dries, it's just going to get better and better. I could come in with my blue. And in all the negative space in between the flowers. So now all the petals really start to pop out once you start adding a background to it. The gel press and those transfers are beautiful. But what if we want to drop color? So I've got my liquid watercolors, I've got my Hake brush, I've got my water. Take my Hake brush, because I used an acrylic paint, it doesn't move, it's moisture resistant. And what if I want to drop my color? I can move it around a little bit with my brush if I want. I can add more water to make it move. I can take my lighter pink and drop it into my yellow. And I can start to make magic happen that way. By using that Hawkeye brush and putting a lot of water down, I can now come in and play. If I want to lift some of my color, take my baby wipe and go in there. And lift some of my color. If I want more yellow down, drop it, let it sit for a minute. Really, the options are endless when you're playing with the liquid watercolors. There's so much that you can do. You just have at it. And don't overthink it. How beautiful those colors are. And I just let it do its thing. And I let those colors move into each other. And I can add more if I want more, if I want it bolder. But dropping color, easy peasy. It all starts, however, with your gel press, your paint, gel press, your paint. We'll see what we get, because I didn't clean. Rub its back a little bit. Grab your piece of paper. Again, I'm using mixed media paper by Van Gogh. It's a great all-purpose paper. When you don't know what paper to use mixed media paper. It's good for watercolors, it's good for acrylics, it's good for oils, for your oil pastels, your soft pastels. It gets along with everybody. So when in doubt, oh, I got it wet. Ooh, we're gonna have to see what happens. I got it wet. Almost. They're awesome, you guys. They're amazing. Okay, but we started way back when. I mean, I started when I didn't even use the transfer as a transfer. I literally just painted on top of it. Didn't I? I backed it on cardstock, but then I painted right on top of it. Okay, done, easy. Then we used it with our embossing folders, our gel press with I'm so proud of myself, our gel press with our embossing folders, and made monoprinting. This looks like something that somebody, like a manufacturer, printed this paper and you bought it. Think of all the embossing folders you have that you can do this with. They're so beautiful. And then we started to use the transfer paper or the transfer sheets as transfer sheets. And we started small because we needed to learn. We needed to, do we have too much paint? Do we have not enough paint? Did we wait too long? Did we not wait long enough? But then once we got it. And we went in and started coloring with our pastels, our Rembrandt pastels, our Ecoline watercolor. We started to make magic happen. Cut away all the noise. And you have something that looks dramatically different. Once all that noise is gone, it's like pow. See, it's still wet, but it's beautiful. Gel presses are easy. They're easy, but they take explanation and they take a little bit of a class or two. And that's why I started with just black. Trust me, there's so much more to do than just black. But if you've never tried a gel press before, the transfer sheets, make them easy. It gives you what you need to get started. And if you have the embossing folders, they give you what you need to get started. And I think they're wonderful. I love this concept. Had to have it. Had to have it. So, oh boy, is it late. So, what do we have for you? Okay, I have a ton. First off, we have the gel press. We have it in the 5x7 and the 8.5 by 11. The I Want It All bundle is the gel press, the brayer, the acrylic paint, and the 2 sets of transfers. This is your I Want It All. So if you don't have gel press, here you go. It's right here for you. Everything you need to get started. You don't need anything more than this. Well, baby wipes. You need baby wipes and paper, but I have faith in you. So there's your I Want It All bundle. But then we also put just the transfer sheets. There's a bundle of just the transfer sheets on sale, or you can get them open stock, whatever makes your heart happy. We have limited Tim Holtz embossing folders left. I didn't even use this one. We have limited Tim Holtz embossing folders left. What we have is on the site in the YouTube Yummies in the Saturday with Stacey category. They're on sale. The Van Gogh Mixed Media Pad in the small and the large size, on sale. The Ecoline liquid watercolors, all of them, I want to say 60 some odd colors, on sale. It's hard to know when to stop with these. You just want all the colors. You really do. And I have my favorites. I'm trying to find 18 go-to colors that I use all the time, but everything I do, then I change my mind and I want a different color. It's horrible in the best way possible. And then we have the pastels for you. And the pastels are sold in open stock, yes, but in the bundles are where you're gonna get the best deal. We have five different bundles, and it is on 4 of the bundles, it's buy 2, get 1 free. So instead of $35.58, they're down to $23.90, and you'll see the colors in each bundle. There is one bundle where there's only 2. These are 2 colors I didn't know existed, so we just launched these in the last 2 weeks. So it's still on sale, $23.90 down to $16.73. And then there's a couple colors that are only open stock but on sale. I think Warm Blues is sold out. We won't see it for a little while. And Burnt Sienna. So those aren't in any bundles. All right, let me show you samples because I've got lots of samples to show you. Along with everything I did. All right, so let's see what the girls have. Oh, come on, I can't. There we go. Okay, so the transfer, she did it in a pewter. She did the transfer in the pewter. That is the same as well, it's one of the ones that I did, but I don't know where I put it. So she did the transfer in pewter. Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. And then here, she did the transfer in die cut. She did the transfer and then she die cut. So this was Catherine. And I think this one is Claire. This one was Claire and I. So I went in there with the Ecoline liquid watercolor over the transfer, and then she finished it out. I thought we were going to throw it away. And then Mary with the liquid watercolor. So the liquid watercolors are always going to be a bolder color. And then Claire went in and she just painted with the soft pastels. And then this is Dortina, went in there with the liquid watercolor. Bold, right? I love the bold. And then this one was Stacey and Claire, so I did the coloring, And I just went in there with I went in there with a baby wipe. Literally went in there with the baby wipe, and Claire finished it off. And then happy birthday. So done with the transfer, and I'm going to say the liquid Ecoline watercolor, and this is Dortina. So all of these are the transfer backgrounds. Every background you're seeing is from Gelli Arts. This one's Patty, and she did this with soft pastels. All of the backgrounds are the Gelli Art, and we used it with the gel press, the gel plate. Ooh. This is Dortina, and she put the liquid watercolor in a palette and she painted. Beautiful, right? But here we have Patty. Is this Patty? Yes, I'm right. Patty did the transfer of a background and just went in there and did a soft ombre wash of color. Isn't that pretty? The softness, and I don't know if you can see, it's just beautiful, Patty. And then Dare to Begin with Claire. So our transfer from Gelli Arts. And then this is soft pastels. And then this one is Catherine, again, with the transfer from Gelli Arts on your gel press, on your jelly plate. I guess it's a plate, and then soft pastels. And then Claire, your background, the tiles, and then liquid Ecoline watercolor. And then Mary. Oh, Mary, it's so beautiful. Mary went in there and painted this with soft pastel. Beautiful, right? She went in there and painted every one of those with soft pastel. Mary, here's mine. Get Well Soon is by Mary. Again, that I think was done with soft pastel. And she painted it in. This is liquid watercolor, Ecoline liquid watercolor, and just dropped it or used a baby wipe. And this is also Mary. Mary, you smoked it, girl. Holy smokes, you were on fire. You are fire. That fire is, I guess, it's equivalent to, dig it or, dude or whatever it is when we were kids, I think dig it was my brothers and sisters. Cool, boss, fire. This one is Catherine. Catherine, this is beautiful. Love it, it's beautiful. And here, Catherine, soft pastels. Claire, soft pastels. This is all soft pastels. How do I know? I started this one. And she finished it. I started it with soft pastels. Claire again. I mean, the images are gorgeous, aren't they? And once you get it, you've got it. You get 20 sheets. Just cut them up into pieces and just play with the brayer, play with the paint. And once you've got it, you've got it. Like I said, it took the girls a couple tries, so we cut them up. We cut the tile ones up because that seemed to be easier to cut. And we just cut them up into thirds and cut a couple sheets. And once they had it, they were off. They were like, oh, and I'm like, yeah. And they're like, uh-huh. And I'm like, see? We had a whole conversation and really didn't say a single word. This is Patty. Look at how soft and beautiful those colors are. This is Dortina. And this is the Ecoline liquid watercolor. And this is Claire, and she painted the tiles. And then she found the perfect paper to go with it. This is the background. That's the Gelli Arts transfer. Oh my. And then they die cut out a butterfly. Who did this one? Dortina. It's beautiful. And then I did about 1 million different things. Whether you want to just use the transfers, back them on paper and just color them, just paint them. Or you want to use your embossing folders, or you want to go ahead and make your transfers. And just have fun. So pretty and so easy to do. And if you already have a gel press, you're 2 steps ahead. You'll love these. And I'm hoping that there's more designs coming because I have thoughts on what I want them to be. Was that presumptuous? Maybe a little bit. All right, so, okay, let me back up. That's a lot of Stacey. That's a lot of me, hey. All right, did you learn something? Did you take your gel press out? Did you say, I've had it for forever and I've never used it? Please take it out. Please, let's try together. Get it out and turn this back on and we'll do it together. Get those embossing folders out if you have them. Get that paint out and try the transfers. You'll like them. You gotta give yourself a couple tries to get it. Just like when we had the Go Press and Foil, I said, if you're not willing to spend an hour of your life to try to make sure you've got your shims right, don't buy it. This is not that. This is so much easier and so much faster. And it's like instant gratification. And then you get to color. Happy day. So where are you going to find all of this? Well, I think most of it's available at just about anywhere. The fine art product you would find at a fine art store. So the soft pastels from Rembrandt and the Ecoline liquid watercolor, you would probably find that more at a fine art store. Gelli Arts you're going to find in fine art and paper crafting. I'm not sure how many people have the new transfers yet, but gosh, if you don't have any place to shop, well, there's always Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Our retail store is open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and online is open 24 hours a day. We are a small store. Really small. There's like 7 of us, really. We're very small, but we do the best we can. And my goal is to just teach you something or remind you of something or share something that gets you excited and makes you want to get creative. So I'm Stacey. It is Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. I'll see you Monday for our next Make It Monday event. And until then, have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.